sweet little honeys. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I'm Anastasia. I'm a Toronto-based actor, YouTuber, content creator, social media manager. I'm heavily involved in all aspects of this industry. If you're a returning viewer, welcome, welcome. I'm happy to have all of you here. I'm excited. I'm kind of wanting to try something new. I want to start this series called the Red Flag series. It's basically my experience of seeing different types of red flags in this industry, whether it be agents, auditions, acting teachers, acting classes, and kind of talk about these things so they're out in the open, so then we're ready for it, that if we see something weird, we're, prepped for it, and we don't end up in weird situations, and we can kind of gauge when something is just feeling odd and when it's not feeling odd. This is a reminder that this is purely coming from my experience. Everybody is going to have their own experience in this industry. Person A might have the best agent in the city and love them, and person B might also be with that same agent but absolutely hate their time with it. It does not mean that person A and person B are neither wrong nor right, but you just want to remember that this is all subjective. It's all what happens to you and how you see it. I want to show my experience, which is why I do my channel, which is why I create my community of honeys in this Toronto acting-based world. And this is why I want to do these series, because I just want to relay the information that I've been through. And if there's anyone else that has gone through something similar or is going through something similar or would like to just be in a community of this, that they are aware of what may or may not happen. For today's video on the Red Flag series, we are talking about agents. Oh, yes. Agents. I've had a few of them in my lifetime, and they are... they're an interesting bunch to have. Agents, obviously you need an agent if you're going to be in this industry. You also need an agent if you want to be like having a full-time career in this. An agent is what will help you move forward with your work, get you the job, get you the bookings, like work with you. A few things you want to remember and some red flags that I have seen in my time with different types of agents, and even agents that I never ended up having as my agent. I was in the room with them, like discussing about a potential contract. Number one thing that I always like to talk about is your agent is your partner. They are not your boss and they are not your employer. You're not employed by them. This is really important to remember because I have found similar situations where I've heard of this. I've also been in the room with an agent, one or two in my lifetime, where you could like strictly tell the difference between them and like me, and they are here and I am clearly here. And that's just like not how things work. You are not employed by them. They do not make money unless you make money. You don't book a job, they don't get a meal ticket, they don't pay their rent. There is no like hourly commission. There's none of this like pay me monthly thing. Like no, like if they don't work for you and do what they should be doing for you in your career, you're not gonna be able to move forward and you're not going to make money. So if in the room before you were signing, and if also during your relationship with your agent, you just feel like, okay, why do I feel like I'm like talking to my boss? Then this is something I think you need to reevaluate and think to yourself, is this that right relationship for you as an agent, actor, like an agent client relationship? A few things you can do with that is A, sit and have a conversation with yourself, journal about it, talk about it. Talk to trusted people. So that could be your coach, your mentor, actor friends that you know for a fact that you can trust and you can talk about and ask for advice. And that way you can kind of sit and understand like, hey, is this a similar experience? Do you feel the same way? If you know people within the agency as well, and again, make sure that these are trusted people because you don't want this to come back to your agent and make it look like you're like talking crap behind their back. But if you know people within the agency that you can trust, that you can have an open conversation with and be like, hey, I've been feeling like this with the agent. Is this something you also feel? Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Like what exactly is happening? These are conversations, again, with trusted people that you can have to see if you feel the same way. Another thing I want to talk about that's a red flag, no agent should ever be asking you to do like monthly payments for them or be like, you need to pay every year some sort of like crazy fees. Like, no, there's no fees. Sometimes an agent might ask for a one-time registration fee. That has happened, and that's not weird. It's like you pay it one time when you sign up and that's it. The only way you ever pay them is the commission that they make based on the work that you book. If you go with any other agency that's like, no, you pay us all the time, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag. That should be a right away, no, we're leaving. You do not pay your agent any money besides an agency registration fee. Maybe not all even agents do that, and the commission that you you make based on booking off work. Another red flag is if you are in the agent's room and you're looking to sign with them and they talk about your headshots, which is really important. And they say, like, love the headshots or don't love the headshots, whatever. But then they say, you're gonna need to get new headshots. Now, it's how they approach the situation. If they're sitting there and they're going, you can only go with this photographer, and that's it, and they don't give you any other option besides going with that one photographer, that's like a little bit odd because there are many photographers in the city, many of them, and of all people, real agents, like the good ones in this industry, do understand that headshots are not cheap, okay guys? Like they're not $200. Like they're minimum between $700 to $1,000. So, and in this economy, not everybody has that kind of money to put out. Obviously understandable that sometimes you are unable to go with a certain top-notch photographers. You have to go for someone that is a little bit less. The agent should also understand, you can talk to them being like, hey, I'm in a tight financial position. I do really want to sign with you, but I just can't get new headshots right in this moment. There should never be this animosity of like, well, if you don't get the new headshots and that's it, I'm not signing with you. This is also granted depending on your headshots. Like if you submitted yourself with some old ass headshots and they're done as selfies, yeah, okay, maybe that's a bit of a different story. They can't use that to put you out for casting. But if you have decent looking headshots and they're fairly recent, it would be odd that you would be asked to get new headshots. And it's also weirder that they're only asking for one specific photographer that they want you to go with. Most of the time what that means is that agent gets a commission from that photographer by referring them to this specific photographer, which is like a little bit sus. It's a little bit odd. They can make you suggestions of a headshot photographer said that they like, that they prefer, but by no means at all whatsoever do you have to go with this headshot photographer. My previous agent liked a certain 2 or 3 headshot photographers in the city. I never ended up going with any of them because I'm just like, A, they were expensive, and B, I'm like, I just didn't love the work. Like I didn't connect with the style. I didn't connect with the headshot photographer when I had my meeting with them. And so I was like, yeah, that's just not for me. So I went and got my headshot done by somebody else that I really enjoyed, which is Headshots by Andrew. And they turned out really great. And my previous agent loved it. So it was fine. That's what I mean, where it can be a suggestion, but it doesn't mean that it's a must that you have to do this and you have to go with that certain headshot photographer just because your agent said so. Big red flags you can find out prior to your meeting is how the communication is going. I told you guys, I had that video that I did is how I got fired from my first agent. That already in the beginning when I talked about the communication was off, that should have been something that I also already noticed being like, okay, this is weird. Something is really odd here. The communication is not there. If the communication is already this weird and this lacking this early in the game, it makes you wonder what will the communication be like down the line. If you still want to go forward with the meeting, regardless of what the communication is like, you can ask them that in the meeting. What is your communication style? Do you answer right away? Do you take a long time to answer back? Do you prefer text? Do you prefer emailing? Are you okay with phone calls? These are really important questions to ask. And again, reminding you that when you are in the room looking to sign with an agent, you are interviewing them as much as they are interviewing you. This is why this is not an employee and an employer like position. This is literally an equal position. They interview you, you interview them, you take a look. Does this seem like the right decision for each other? So these are important things to think about. You also want to look at how professional are they? There's a lot of agents out in the city that like to come off as they're super professional, but then when you actually start working with them, you're like, what just happened? I have been in moments and I've seen myself, and a part of it is like, even with one of my first agents, yeah, sure, they didn't come off the most professional, but then they really knew how to wow it on the phone. They really knew how to wow it on the emails and just really show. Like when I finally had my meeting with them, like 7 months after I couldn't get a hold of them, they basically the way they talked on the phone was so suave, was so wow, and I fell for it. Granted, I was also young and new and naive and didn't know any better, so I went for it. Okay, great, I'm glad that you can, smooth talk it on the phone, but where's the smooth talking in the rest of the year? Where's the smooth talking and getting into my auditions and getting me into the room and helping me book and like being there in my corner? Where's all of this? It doesn't just happen one time. It has to happen all the time because you signed me for a reason. You could also take a look at the energy you feel at meetings. This was like when I was still in theater school. I took a meeting because we were allowed to do that in our 4th year, and I submitted myself to a bunch of agencies, and this is when we did, it's called Theater Ontario, so they come to see you perform. And this one agent was interested, and I went and met with this agent. Oh God, the energy in the room was so off. Like, it was just so weird, and I felt it. And quite frankly, I was so desperate in wanting an agent that I was willing to like overlook this and not be like, no, like this is weird. I was literally gonna be like, it's fine, we're gonna go for it, it's all good. No, guys, if you feel the energy is off, the energy is most likely going to be off. And it's not just gonna be off one time, it's going to be off all the time for the rest of the years that you're with this agent. So if you feel something's not right, it most likely will not be right. Honeys, big red flag, please read your contract. Like, always read your contract. Always read the fine print of what goes on in your contract. Guys, I'm so surprised sometimes. I've had subscribers tell me about contract situations, and I'm appalled by some of the things that sometimes these agents try to put in these contracts. I've heard horror stories from other people as well. Always read your contract. Always see if you do want to leave. What is the situation of you leaving? Like, you want to make sure that you know what you're signing up for, and you never, ever, as a red flag, never have to sign the contract in the moment, in the room with the agent. You take the contract home, you give it a couple of days, you sit with it, you let the excitement settle, you read it, clear head, you do it when you're like fully there, and you read through it the way it should be. You read all the pages, you do not skip a page, you do not skip a single word. And then once you have read it and you've agreed with it and whatever, then you can go ahead and move forward in signing or not signing, depending on what you feel like. If you feel like your agent is not in your corner, then this is a serious conversation you need to have with yourself, and then also have with your agent. I love my agent that I have now. I am like obsessed with him. He is amazing and he is so good. And one of the few reasons why I love him so much is because he is always in the client's corner. He's always there rooting for all the clients, and he's really trying his absolute best to get everyone out there and to make sure that everyone gets a chance and everyone is there to be heard. And that's what I feel we are moving towards that with a lot of the new agents that are coming in. They have more empathy towards the actors because they see how difficult it is to be an actor, especially right now. Of all the years to be an actor, like right now, yikes. Like, we have our tariff problem. We got Trump coming in here, like trying to stop everything. We have our own issues with actor in Toronto. We have an economic crisis where not many people want to do things. After the American strike, so many production companies shut down. Like, after our own strike, so many people went bankrupt. Like, we're still, even to this day, trying to get out of the pandemic and all these problems. So like, yes, agents now need to be even more understanding. Like, I was honest with my agent. I was like, look, like I have a full-time job. I can't say yes to $200 jobs anymore. Like, I can't say yes to some shitty little commercial that pays me literally nothing, where I could risk losing my full-time job. I'm not in a position where I can do that anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, it was, it sucks to say that, but that's just the reality. That's the game that we're playing now. So you want to make sure that your agent is always there for you. Like your agent truly believes in you. And when you ask them the question, like, okay, how competitive are you going to be there for me? And if they can't answer it, then that worries me of what they're going to do for you when you're not succeeding, or you're not having your best year, or you're having a tough time getting into the room, or having a hard time booking. Like, what are they going to help you with? Are they going to like try to bring you up and raise you up and coach you and maybe get you to direct you to the right direction, or this? Like, what are they going to do? Or are they just going to leave you on the sidelines? Because if they're going to leave you on the sidelines, then you don't need an agent like that. You're better off than not having an agent and finding your own work and building your own stuff, and then signing with one once you find a good one. So you want to make sure that your agent is really is there and believes in you. And I'm telling you, you will feel it in the first meeting. When I took my meeting with my agent a year ago, the one that I'm with now, I felt that in that first meeting. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been looking for. This is an agent that knows that I'm good, knows what I'm capable of, can see some things that I still need to work on, and is willing to help me and get there and take the process and just nurture me. And I was like, that is what we need. These are the kind of agents we need in this industry. Honeys, I am wondering, what are some red flags you have seen in your lifetime with agents? Please comment down below. I'd love to hear them. There's a lot more out there that I have not seen, and I'm yet to see and yet to hear. And please always remember, I'm always here to talk. You are always available to go into my DMs. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok. You can also comment down below. If you need help, if you feel like something's off, you're not sure, you always know where to find me. Ask questions if you need to vent. I'm always happy to help out and hear you out. So yeah. Okay, honeys, I love you. Today's a gorgeous Sunday. That's when I'm filming my video, but it's coming out on a Friday. The sun is shining. It's actually a little bit chilly still in Toronto, but I'm still gonna go out and catch the sun. Okay, honeys, I love you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all next Friday. Bye.